Hi everybody. Now, when it comes to buying a home, everyone knows about the mortgage and everyone knows about down payment, interest rates, things of that nature. But there are other costs that you kind of need to be made aware of because if you aren't aware of them, they can take you off guard and the next thing you know, you have a higher bill than you expected. So let's get into at least the biggest three. First one, closing costs. Now, closing costs is exactly what it sounds like. It's the amount of money that when you get to title on the day of closing, it's how much you owe in order to balance everything out. I hand you the key, we pop some champagne or sparkling soda if you're not a drinker, and we move on and we go about our lives. Now, the amount closing costs can vary by is from 2 to 5% of whatever the purchase price is. Now, before you freak out and go, there's no way I could ever possibly afford that, just understand there are programs that exist and there are seller concessions. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer or depending on what your job is, lenders that are really good at their job can help find programs that will lower your closing costs. And also, as an agent, I will always be negotiating to see if the seller will be willing to give funds in order to help lower your closing costs. So, and if you need a good track record, every buyer client I have negotiated to help them either greatly lower their closing costs or got them wiped out completely. So you are safe no matter what. The second one is taxes and the home insurance. And the reason these two get brought up, because you might think, oh, that's obvious. People forget, obviously, home insurance can vary depending on the size of the home, the assets the home has, like pools or other things. That's just going to add into your insurance. But people also forget that applies to taxes as well. I mean, it's just to put it out here in the Austin area. Obviously, the taxes are going to be a little bit higher in Bee Caves than maybe, North Austin. And some areas, like if you're in the really fancy areas over in Cedar Park and Leander, you know the ones I mean, it's going to cost a little higher than maybe like East Round Rock. And understanding that helps you understand what you can afford. Now, part of what I will do as your agent and the lenders I know I work with is whenever you see a home you like, we will absolutely double check it to make sure that even with the taxes involved, it still falls within your budget. Because the last thing you want to deal with is finding out you actually owe way more a month than you would realize because of high taxes. And then number three is home maintenance and utilities. Now, utilities is a little self-explanatory, but depending on where you live, if they're in a certain restrictions or maybe you gotta go through certain companies for water or electricity, that can vary how much you owe. Now, when it comes to home maintenance, it sounds simple, but if you've been living in an apartment for a long time or in a rental, you might forget that in a rental where you can always get maintenance to at least look at it, every little thing falls to you. That includes mowing the lawn, replacing alarms, and of course, fixing anything that breaks in the house. That falls on you. So definitely keep that in mind when you're looking at a home that is definitely looks like it needs more love than others. And especially if you're in a place that maybe requires you to keep your lawn or home in good shape. Now, there are other costs as well that I didn't cover in this video: inspection, appraisal, HOA fees, PIDs, MUDs. There's a lot of things. Now, this is not to scare you. My job is I want you to be informed so that you are making the best decision for yourself. Now, if you want to know more and also see how I can help you throughout this whole process so that way no matter what happens, you will walk away happy, I would love to talk with you. All my socials and everything else is provided here. And this is Caleb, and I hope to see you in the next one.